Hey everybody, it is March 2nd, 2022, and I'm just doing a quick reading for the month of March to see what we've got going on and what we can expect to see in the next little while. Bit of a challenge this month, I must say. So right now where we sit is the Knight of Cups, and the Judgment card comes in with that. We have a couple of major cards down in this spread, so that tells us that there's some serious soul stuff working itself out for everybody, not just us. Globally, the whole world is kind of doing this too. The Knight of Cups, though, talks about us being, in a place where we're supported by spirit, but also in touch with ourselves, right? We're working with our heart chakras. We're working with that, and they're helping us to do some healing work as well. And the Judgment card comes in to talk about the supporting energies around all of that. And the Judgment card is about coming to terms with things. It's about judgment specifically, right? Which is about a measurement, an evaluation of measurement rather than anything else. It's not about right or wrong. It's literally about a measurement. And whether you've measured up to where you wanted to be or what you wanted to do or all of that stuff. So the Knight of Cups talks about where we are right now. And we're in a place where, you know what? We just need some romance. We need something to help us feel better. We need spirit to come in and lift us up and help us, really move through this really hard time. The Judgment card comes in, though, as an influencing energy. And again, it helps us to really come to terms with things. There's an awareness happening. There's an awakening underway. And we are all kind of coming into a realization of truth that we've never had before. So the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Wands comes in to talk about what I call the power tool, the spiritual power tool. And that spiritual power tool speaks to those times we're really having challenges or obstacles we're facing or whatever that may be, and when spirit shows up and helps us out. So the Three of Pentacles talks about work, a lot of work that people are doing right now. And the Four of Wands discusses and talks about surrendering to the mission, recognizing that this work that we're doing right now, transmuting all of this heaviness and this third dimensional stuff, is the work we came here to do. This is exactly how we lift this planet up out of this heaviness and this density, by lifting everybody's hearts up and doing the work that enlightens us and provides us with a light because we're in our truth, and we then shine with that, and it illuminates the entire planet. And of course we can lift ourselves up out of the heaviness of the third density and into a 5-dimensional frequency. So that's our role, and we have to really stick to it and honor it and recognize that this is what we're here to do, and this is what we're all kind of on board for. The Fool card comes in as a past influencing card. It's about trust. Trust was a major issue, still is a major issue with everybody. It has been since the beginning of time, because we have been hijacked, we have been deceived, and in that deception, we have a real hard time recognizing who do we put our trust in and where do we put our trust, and who do we trust. We've been led to not trust ourselves and to trust something outside of ourselves, which is not the case. We're supposed to be, loving ourselves and trusting everything from the inside, because that's where God is. That's where God is. So the Fool card comes in to talk about the trust issues that we've had up until this point that brought us to where we are. The Nine of Cups comes in to talk about the position that I refer to as the spiritual overview. So the spiritual overview is everybody on the other side of the veil, in the higher realms and dimensions, of course, paying attention to us down here and knowing where we are and helping us out in any way and every way that they can. And the Nine of Cups is about fulfillment. It's about fulfillment in all matters of the heart, the things we care about, the things we value, and those things that are really, really important to us as a whole, as a collective. And the Nine of Cups is about that fulfillment of that, so that we all feel good with where we are, with what we're helping. And that's the point, right? We're here to create a brand new earth experience, and we have to go through some stuff to get there. And that's what we're talking about, is the fulfillment that comes on the other side of that creation. The Chariot card comes in to talk about what's next for us in the next little while, probably the next month especially, but maybe even overlapping into the further months down the road. The Chariot's always about determination for me. It's always about recognizing that you've got to focus, keep your eyes on the prize, and don't veer off the path, right? Don't get distracted. Don't allow yourself to be, taken off path or off your mark. And that's what's happening in the next little while. We have to really stay focused on what we want, what we're creating, and not lose sight of the importance of this time, because other things are taking place at the same time. Okay, so there's a lot of distractions going on. There's things that are going to call your attention over here and bring your attention over there. Stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize there. Keep your eyes, scanning, surveying everything all around. It's really important. You can kind of do a sweeping glance and be aware of what's going on in the peripheral, but still maintaining a focus on what you've got going on. So the Ace of Swords comes in to talk about who we are as a collective, what we're doing right now, what we brought to the table today. And we're here for triumph. This is about triumph. This is Athena. She's got that double-edged sword of truth that cuts through all kinds of BS and makes sure that everything that is not strong and trustworthy and honoring and sacred is cut down. And so the triumph card comes in to say that we've won. We have already won. It's just a matter of going through the motions, moving through the paces and the spaces and the places to end up in that timeline that is the accomplished new earth that we're looking for, and not this globalist agenda crap that is all about communism and Great Reset crap. So this is all about the Great Awakening and what we're actually here to accomplish, right? So the Nine of Wands comes in to talk about what the other influences are as they are looking at us, and what they're sending our way, because even though they don't have the power to create for us, they can influence our creations based on what the energy is that they're sending our way. And if you're in a vulnerable space and you're not strong in your own energy, you can be affected by theirs, okay? It can be influenced by theirs. So in some ways it's a good thing to know what's going on and what other people think, or whether things are kind of influencing you. Predominantly for the most important fact, of course, that once you know what you're up against, you know how to better be prepared for it. So the Nine of Wands is a card of discipline, and we need to stay focused. We also need to stay disciplined. We can't let them rattle us, okay? We cannot let them, provoke us to do anything. We've done very well the last few weeks across the world, standing up peacefully, protesting, doing those kinds of things in a way that is, again, peaceful, right? Like, we want peace, and that's a discipline right there. Like, not allowing yourself to lose your shit over anything is really, really powerful and disciplined. And we've done very well, exceptionally well, because if there's ever a time when there's a lot of people who are feeling an incredible amount of anger and rage about something, it's now. And they want to act on it, but they're not. And you got to give credit there where credit's due, for sure. So the discipline is that we hold strong, we hold the light, we hold the line, and we stay where we are, keeping our eyes on the prize. The High Priestess comes in to talk about what's going to happen tomorrow, like what's going to be, what we can look forward to, but also what we can sort of be aware of and kind of on the watch for. And that's about intuition, right? The High Priestess is all about seeing things that not everybody sees in the way that not everybody can see them. We all have an intuitive experience built right into us that we're able to actually tap into intuition and see from there what we need to know, what we need to see, how we need to feel things out. I mean, God put that in us. It's like a divine GPS. It helps you kind of figure and navigate your way through. And, the High Priestess is, everybody's coming into our intuition. We really need to be discerning, and that the best way to use that discernment and to practice that discernment is through your intuition, because only you know what the truth is at your core, and everybody's truth is different. You've got to go with what resonates with you. So the High Priestess is something that is in the next few months especially going to be very strong with people. The energy of intuition, being able to see through deception and see through illusion, right? Seeing through the illusion to what the reality really is, and being able to see what's real, what's not, and what's been kind of the wool that's been pulled over people's eyes and what isn't. So that brings us to the Nine of Swords, which is the outcome card. Now, a lot of readers will tell you that's a bad card. It's a nightmare card. It's this, it's that. I've always looked at it as a card that helps us recognize that there's always going to be a fear or something that scares us that we have to deal with and face, right? We have to face it, we have to deal with it, and we have to get past it. And just like with a nightmare, though, you're going to wake up from it. It's going to be over at some point, and it's not going to last forever. And the point is that this is the nightmare. We've all kind of come to recognize and admit that this is pretty bad. And I don't really know that this is the worst we're going to see. I don't really feel that, to be honest with you. As much as I'd like to say it's over and done with, it's not by any means that I can say. In fact, I think that over the next few months, we're going to see some atrocities, some very hard things to see, hard things to witness, and hard things to become aware of. And I think in that's us really facing our fears and moving forward as brave, courageous, and powerful divine beings that we are. No matter what we see, we can't stop, we can't let it stop us, and we can't stop from our mission. We cannot stop the mission. We're not here to be obliterated people. We're just not. We're not here to be oppressed, and we're not here to do anything other than liberate this planet from what it's been oppressed by already. That's what we're doing. So the Nine of Swords just really really reaffirms to me anyway that we're all going to be facing the fears that we need to face, recognizing it for what it is, and realizing it's not real. It's just not true. It's not real. And at some point, poof, you're going to be awake from the dream and realize that it has no power over you. No power. And I want you to think about those things that I just said, because there's deeper meanings in those words, in all of those things that we just talked about. Last card, the brick card. That was the shuffle, just so you know. The brick card at the end of every reading. At the end of every reading, I pull a card. And I have for 15, 16 years now. From these decks, these ones in particular, by this particular artist. I love his stuff. But they're always perfect summaries of everything we need to know. That's the one. I welcome. See that? I welcome life as it presents itself to me. Today, I take each step on my path to fulfillment with good faith. I swim easily with the flow of life. I embrace all experiences the universe bestows upon me, even those that may prove challenging. I know all will fall into place for my greater good. You just can't make this stuff up, folks. You've watched it happen right here. I love these cards. I love all cards. I really do. Stay positive. It's hard. I know that. It's not easy. You're seeing a lot of stuff that makes it challenging. But no, with our eyes on the prize, what we've got coming, well worth it. Well worth it. Yeah. Happy March, everybody. The equinox is a couple of weeks away and 3 weeks away. And when that happens, we have a balance point, right? We are exactly halfway through the year, which means that it's 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night, and it's a balance point. It's very important to note that. Everything evens out. And from then, it's a whole new deal. God bless you all.